on us in the second half, and we didn't do enough to stay on the field. I think that's the story of the second half with the lead that we jumped out to. So, take your questions.
Darius Slayton was only targeted twice
Yeah.
in the second half, had like 5 catches on 6 targets in the first
Yeah.
half. Why get away from him, or what were they doing differently?
We didn't get away from him. We didn't stay on the field, so you don't get a chance to run as many plays as you like. But we weren't trying to get away from him, and I wouldn't necessarily say they did anything to take him away.
Why not call? What was the thinking behind not calling a timeout there right when they get to the 4th down at the end? 40, 50 seconds left.
What was what? Because I just wanted to make sure that they were going to punt us the football there. You talking about at the very end of the game? Yeah, I wanted to see what they were going to do. I want to make sure I want them to punt us the ball and see if we can make a play.
Was there anything that the Eagles defense did differently after you guys went up to 17-3 or kind of did the back end?
No, they had the same mix of coverages, I would say. We didn't execute well enough to stay on the field, especially on 3rd down.
9 straight losses for you guys now ties the franchise record. Just what are your thoughts on that?
I have no thoughts on that. We lost the game tonight, and I think that's what we're talking about. Unfortunately, that's our reality right now, and I have no thoughts on that other than the fact that we lost the game tonight.
Eli, in the first half, can you kind of talk about what he was doing well in that?
Yeah, I thought we executed in the passing game pretty well. We were making plays, and we were actually explosive plays. Slayton had the 2 touchdowns, and we were trying to still keep going with that and blend in the run, but we just didn't convert on enough 3rd downs to stay on the field.
What'd you see on the flea flicker on the 3rd line?
What about it?
What did you see went wrong?
We didn't get it launched, and I think the quarterback got face masked actually, but we didn't get it launched, and I don't think it was protected great either.
How did you think Eli played wrong?
I thought he battled.
Rough evening there for Pat Shurmur and the Giants. But look, as far as Eli Manning goes, wasn't sure what we were going to see from him tonight. I know after the game we did see him and Carson Wentz exchanging a little handshake there. We know that Eli came into this game with a 500 record, 116 and 116 in his 16-year career. So now he falls 1 game below 500 for his career record. And there were a lot of things I think that went wrong for the Giants tonight. Right, MJD?
Well, again, guys, like there's a reason you're 2-10 or whatever the record is right now, right? Like you're finding ways to lose. You jump out to a big lead, you're playing fast, but there was no second half adjustments that I noticed. There wasn't, even if we're up 14 and I'm trying to win this game, like we would go into 4-minute mode with you quick. I'd be dinking and dunking, and I'm telling Eli, like, get the ball out quick, let's catch the ball, whatever, just keep the clock rolling. Let's try to shorten the game as quick as possible. But it seemed as if they were just doing the same thing they did in the first half, like the Eagles weren't going to make adjustments defensively. And they started finding ways to get to Eli, getting sacks, and they were shutting down, I guess they didn't target Slayton, or they were covering him, finding ways to get him, take him out of the game plan. The other guys are making plays. And then defensively, your defense is going to get tired eventually if they're on the field all the time, and that's what happens. I mean, like, you're finding ways to lose.
So for Eli Manning, when we were watching this game the first half, we were like, oh my gosh, wow, like he had a couple really nice
were saying
throws.
that. I wasn't saying that, Colleen.
Some of us
He
were
was
like, wow,
dropping
look
dimes.
at
I told
Eli
you,
Manning.
I knew Eli was
Others
gonna come
were
out there and
not
let it
saying
go.
that. But where does Eli go from here at this point? I mean, is he done completely? I know that he's not. I'm not saying he's going to be a starter. I don't think he's going to be a starter next year, anybody. But maybe you guys think he's going to still be in the league next year with another team, maybe as a backup? What do you think?
Didn't Eli make a quote saying that he doesn't see himself being a backup, he doesn't see himself coaching? He wants to be a starter. That's always been his mentality. That's his mindset. You're the #1 overall pick, when you've won Super Bowls, when you played in this New York market, when your last name is Manning, for goodness sake.
Right.
You don't expect to back anybody up. And so with all that being said, Colleen, I don't know if there's a team that takes a chance on Eli. Because we're seeing football's changing. The prototype quarterback who's just going to stand in the pocket, he's becoming a dinosaur. If you can't move a little bit, if you can't finesse that pocket and get up, get out, kind of work it a little bit, extend plays, it's not a spot for you in this NFL, because we're noticing no matter how good your offensive line is, it's going to always be a better dude across from him on that defensive side that's paid to just go get the quarterback.
Right.
And so when you get a guy free, Eli, it's just so hard for him to make that guy miss or extend the play. We saw Daniel Jones doing that when he first got in. That's why we were like, look, that was the exact change they needed, a guy who could extend some plays because that offensive line wasn't blocking very well. You know, in the perfect situation, could Eli still play? Absolutely. His mind's probably a fortress. He's seen so many defenses. That's what's making, you know, Tom Brady good. That's what made Peyton good toward the end. He couldn't throw it like he used to, but he was still smart enough to dissect defenses. So there's a place for Eli. I just don't know where that place is.
And you know, I mean, you talked about it, right? As a starter, as a guy that the franchise is turning the keys over to, you want a guy like Carson Wentz did, right? They're down 17-3. What do? They engineer a couple of drives. They battle their way back. They go into overtime. He goes down there and wins it for his team. For Eli, if you're the starter and you're up 17-3, I'm expecting you not only to be able to win the game, to hold that lead. You're up 14 points.
You got to
right?
give me a field goal range or something, right?
Give me something, right? And he's not making target throws. He's not hitting the receivers in stride. Even on the touchdown pass to Slayton where he's wide open, the guy still had to slow down a little bit. So he's not a mobile guy. If you're not a mobile guy, you better be able to make it rain out here with your arm. And Eli is way past that era of his life.
Well, I think, D'Angelo, you said it best, man. The game is definitely changing. It starts at the high school level, stops at the Pop Warner level, and it goes through college, right? You don't see guys that's standing in the pocket anymore. Everyone's athletic. Everyone can run. And it brings me to what the Tennessee Titans have done,
Yes.
right? You go from Marcus Mariota, who was primarily a runner, to Ryan Tannehill, who could throw a little bit better.
Right.
It was still athletic enough to make and all of a sudden, you're scoring 30 points a game. And so I don't know where he can go and who's willing to do that, but the way when you're seeing Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, you're seeing Josh Allen,
Patrick Mahomes,
Sam Darnold, all these guys, even like, I'm going to go back to the Rams, even Jared Goff will move a little bit, right?
And can move.
Yeah, and so you have to have some athletic ability now because you're right. The way the game has changed with all these high-flying receivers and fast-paced guys are going to get beat up front. You got to be able to make plays with your feet and look and be able to throw the ball downfield. I just don't know what they're going to do, and I think that's why they moved to Daniel Jones so early in the year. Because they were like, look, we need a little bit more athleticism at the position, so because our line is struggling.
Because our O-line isn't great, right? We should be evading.
And they got to see what they have in Daniel Jones. They need to get him out there. They need to get him some work and some reps. So unclear for Eli. What about for Pat Shurmur? He's obviously, his seat's warm. It's very warm. How do you think that he lasts the season?
I mean, I think they have to look at themselves and say, is this working for us?
Yeah.
Right? We drafted Saquon Barkley #2, and Saquon ain't doing nothing right now.
Yep.
Okay? We traded away Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
And those guys we got back, they're helping out, but it's not right. So you have to figure out what is going on and why these decisions were made, and look is this the coach for us, for our team?
Yeah, it's not 100% on Pat Shurmur. I think that needs to be clear.
Right.
When you talk about trading a guy like Odell Beckham, I mean, a generational talent.
No question.
You find a way to make it work. You find a coach that can make it work with that guy, and y'all get on the same page. That's why I don't know.
Yeah, and this is also an organization that isn't like super reactionary, and like they stick with
They
guys.
better be now.
Yeah, so we shall see. But it was Zach Ertz's night, a huge night for him with a game-winning touchdown. We will break it all down coming up next.
Party.